All right, so starting something new again here today. I'm going to be looking at the Black Hole toys compared to their official counterparts, well, partially official. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the GT version. Personally, I didn't have that many QC issues. I mean, these shoulder joints are still, you know, ridiculously tight. I'm not going to be messing around with this one too much because this one has actually been sold and he will be shipping out tomorrow afternoon. Compared to the other one, this is the official. The joints are, you see, they're very smooth. No issues. Now, mind you, this one is kind of floppy. He can be. Does not hold up to the flop test. Bounces around. Head is very wobbly. Hair falls out, a lot of it. Looking at the back, I mean, you can see a lot more detail, paint work and detailing work went into this. These muscles pop a little bit more than these. I don't care for this color. This is more show accurate, so I care for that more. Hair sculpts are, excuse me, basically identical. This is a bit dusty. He's been sitting there for a little while. Here's the faces, you know, basically the same. The big difference, though, I believe, see, his face is already wanting to come off. I believe, I mean, look at the shade work here. This is a matte finish, like this one. It's very nice. I appreciate it a lot more. These could have been painted, but if I'm correct, Jesus, I'm almost afraid to. Yeah, there you go. Let's do it that way. It's got the same kind of neck thing going on. I don't care for that peg design. I think the official, seeing as it's a 3.0, one of the first 3.0s, for Goku at least, this should have been upgraded to what we have now. But you can see inside, it's identical sculpt. This is an identical sculpt to this one. I believe this has better paint work here on the chest. The neck is bare a little bit. If it was this level of detail with these pants and this color fur, this would be a peak figure. I mean, the detail, they painted in detail down on his legs, but not up here on his pants. But as you can see, you know, here's our two faces if the camera will focus. Here's the official. They're basically the same, you know. So that's really my work here for this. I mean, you could, other than, you know, seeing the dust on it, you can't tell. I mean, the pieces are identical. This is the exact same sculpt. But, oh, jeez. But as I said, the official, the joints are smooth. The fur's more show accurate. The colors are more show accurate in general. GT had this very kind of like washed out color look. I don't know why. Probably just the early 90s animation. But that's just how it was. So, like I said, here's the official. Right here. Ooh. Here's the official boy, Son Goku. And here is this one. Another thing to look at is the elbow joints. They're they almost seem too thin. But like I said, his joints are very, very, very tight. I would definitely recommend, if you're gonna get this guy, whoever's getting him, I doubt they watch this channel, but whoever gets him, I'd be very careful. I've seen really bad QC issues come from this version. The arm shears off, that right there, like the leg just shears off at the waist. Like, listen, oh God, ugh. That makes me cringe. Okay, so that's this guy compared to the official. Now, moving on. We already did a review for this guy. We already know the issues, like the paint coming off his face right there, the the bad elbow joint, which is actually pretty smooth now that I fixed it. Personally, I think he looks okay. Like, the magenta really grew on me. That's why I bought him. I think he looks great. The detail work is great. The paint work is amazing. This should have been rubber. I'm always going to fight that. This should have been rubber. The faceplates, only certain ones fit the windswept head. It's like a waist, and there's basically no, you can barely move his head doing the windswept. Like, these little bits are too tight. All in all, I think these figures were really rushed. They could have done better. They should have done better. You know, because I had the MUI by Black Hole Toys. That one was fine. I didn't get the Jiren. I heard Jiren had problems. But, you know, like, they did fantastic paint work on this guy to a point. Still, the QC issues really reduce him. I know Demoniacal Fit finally announced they're going to be working on their Untamed Power, which is their Super Saiyan 4. So this guy, I'm not going to get the GT version. If they do make the Time Patroller version, the Xeno Goku, I will get it. And there's one reason. It's because they're a 3.0 sculpt, but they're going to be sizably taller. They're going to be actually anime accurate height. So, because for people who don't really know, if you haven't watched Heroes, Super Saiyan 4, or GT, because it was in GT as well, Super Saiyan 4 makes Goku quite a bit bigger. Like, he doesn't just get bulky and furry, he gets, like, tall. So that's what I'm looking out for. They said it's going to be up to like 150 millimeters. Like, that's big. It's a big boy. So comparing him to Kong Studios Limit Breaker, I was lucky enough to get Limit Breaker before they sold out, and God, they're impossible to find for a cheap price. He still has dust on him because he's been sitting on a shelf for like 2 years. So this head sculpt, see, they use these massive pegs. That's why you can't fit this onto this. Now, without the proper connector joint, which you can buy them. D-Stars, I know, sells them. I've bought a couple. The other big problem is how much wider the faces are. So comparing this face, we'll just use the GT here. I mean, the face sculpts are great. They're awesome. But look how much wider set these pegs are. And so that means your GT face just can't quite fit. Sucks. I personally like this design for the Limit Breaker. I think the red could have been a little bit more prominent. I think they should have used a little bit of a pearlized paint, because it's a God Key, so it's got like the same kind of sparkles in it that blue does, especially Blue Evolved, when you look at it in the animation. So going from there, pop his head back on him. There we go. Going from there, I don't care for this. I really think this is a better sculpt for the chest. He's not as bulky. I mean, you can see there. He's not as bulky. These arms are much bigger. He also is a 2.0, and that's important to note. He is a 2.0. 2.0s are smaller. You can tell there, you see. He's got the 2.0 little hip flanges. But, and I've popped him apart before, this is what really stands out to me. This is rubber. This is a soft rubber. So, I've seen people do this. Ooh, that pops off real nice. That's good. I was kind of worried, actually, to be honest with you. God, get off there. This, I know the colors don't match at all, but this is so much nicer to look at. Like, if we could have had this soft rubber robe that actually wraps around his waist a bit, you know, as it did in the animation. If we could have this with this level of detail paint, amazing. And I can pop him on there to show you. Look, he can even put his arm down better. Like, that just looks so much nicer. Oops. Yeah, we'll just put that aside. But it looks so much nicer. And that's what kills me, because look, it's essentially the same pair of pants. I mean, geez. Also, I like this tail sculpt better. It's bigger, it's bushier, it's more fitting. This just seems really small by comparison. So, like I said, if Demoniacal Fit brings out a Time Patroller version of their Untamed Power, which is set to release, they claim, between September and October, I'm not holding my breath. We all know the future Gohan fiasco that's currently what's the word I'm looking for? Currently haunting them right now. But I don't know. If they come out with Time Patroller, I'll get him. He'll be my actual one I display. And if the heads work, honestly, I might put this limit breaker on there. In all honesty, I very well might, because, yeah, you know, I think the paint color, excuse me, I think the paint color could be a lot closer to the animation, because it's not red, it's a magenta pinkish kind of color. That's why I said I wish this hair was closer to this color. Until then, he'll be the one on display, because I mean, he looks great. He really does. He looks phenomenal. It's just the QC problems. The QC issues are so numerous. Like, that's the only thing holding me back on this figure. I love the look of him. I've always liked Xeno Goku over GT. Limit Breaker was like mind-blowing to me the first time I saw it. He does. He looks great. He really does. The paint works fantastic. But, like I said, QC issues abroad. All in all, comparing Kong Studios, now Beast Deities, their name has changed. Comparing these two, look-wise, it's him. That's me. Look-wise, it's him. Quality-wise, it's unfortunately Kong Studios. I mean, their figure, yeah, it's got a little bit loose joints, but he holds together. I don't have to worry about turning and accidentally shearing an arm off, which really bothers me. This is a soft rubber. It looks nicer, functions nicer. Their hair is a little bit closer to this paint cut, to the actual like fur color, because look, that's closer than this. I had somebody, one of my buddies, another figure collector, told me it kind of looks like Gogeta, and it honestly does kind of look like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta from GT. So out of the two of these, quality-wise, it's Kong, now Beast Deities. Detail-wise, it's him. Quality, it's him. For these two, again, paint-wise, he has some problems. He really does. If they had gone with the more, like, this more kind of like washed out gold yellow instead of this bright canary yellow, it would be him. But the QC issues are so bad. I'm scared to mess with him too much, in all honesty. Especially because he's shipping out tomorrow, so it's like, I don't want to break him before the guy even gets to mess with him. Let the buyer break him. It'll be his problem, not mine. So yeah. All in all, they look great. Their QC is abysmal. Next to the official and, you know, another of Xeno Goku, these guys still hold up better. Like, this is an old figure. He still holds up. That's an older figure. He still holds up. I don't know. I don't know. Personally, like I said, these guys do not feel like they're worth the $40, $45 we paid for them. I've got 2 more of these guys coming, like I said. Hopefully they'll be a better batch, won't have as many problems as this one has had. And like I said, this guy's still going to be on display. This guy will always be my GT display. He's right next to Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Pretty soon I'm going to have a GT Pan when she shows up. I think she drops in, I want to say December or February. Don't know. But yeah, so that's my full review. That's my comparisons. You guys let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.